the PNP is making headway in our own campaign to translate this national strategy into operational terms to synergize all law enforcement operations against all forms of criminal activity that provide support system to drug syndicates and drug traffickers. The latest setbacks suffered by the PNP in the death of 2 police anti-drug operatives killed in line of duty recently in Rizal and Bulacan. But it will not diminish our resolve to hit hard on illegal drug activities and address the drug problem head-on with all the power vested upon us by law. Police Staff Sergeant Michael Cabillo of Rizal and Police Corporal Ronnie Tumaliwan of Bulacan did not die in vain when they offered the supreme sacrifice against armed drug suspects. Rather, their heroism serves to inspire the entire PNP to accomplish the mission that was left unfinished. According to PNP rules and policies, their surviving families will receive all the benefits due to kin of deceased personnel. Thank you and good morning. Good morning.
Sir, kumusta po yung preparation? May namomonitor po ba tayo na threats? And in the coming days, sir, magdadagdag ba tayo ng personnel aside dun sa 35,000?
The national headquarters issues the general guidelines. It will be up for the regional directors concerned to assess. But in general,
and that is the acting PNP Chief Lieutenant General Archie Gamboa speaking at a media briefing. The new Chief Justice has led the flag-raising ceremony at the Supreme Court. Chief Justice Diosdado Peralta is now delivering a speech, and we have live pictures from the Supreme Court. Let's listen in.
First of all, may I stress that as the 26th Chief Justice of the Supreme Court and as a long-time public servant, I will lead by example. Secondly, to achieve our goals and aspirations, each and everyone in the judiciary must be guided by this motto, which should know by heart: let us be united and let us follow the rules. I repeat, let us be united and let us follow the rules. Thirdly, may I give you an overview of my major plans and programs in order to guide the judiciary to greater heights. I have what I refer to as my 10-point program. Number 1, elimination of backlog in the Supreme Court and all other courts. I have emphasized before that my judicial philosophy has always been to start from home and lead by example. Thus, in order to achieve this first point, clerks of court will be required to conduct periodic inventory of all the cases pending in their divisions and consult with the court and bank as to how to solve the issue of backlog and other concerns. All other courts must continue to comply with existing rules and guidelines pertaining to prescribed periods for trial dates, including promulgation of decisions and other rules geared towards the realization of a speedy disposition of cases. Number 2, implementation of duly approved revised rules of court and the continuous revision of the rules of court and other rules of procedure so as to be more responsive to the needs of court users, and for the Philippine Judicial Academy to focus on skills-based training for judges and court personnel. By the end of this year, we will be implementing the rules on search and inspection order provided for under the Philippine Competitive Commission law. And early next year, we will implement the special rules on admiralty cases, and in the middle of the year, the amendments on the rules of procedure and rules of evidence. In due time, I will constitute a committee to study the possibility of amending our present rules of procedure, criminal procedure, The last amendment was in December of 2000, and there's a need to amend the rules on criminal procedures. Skills-based training programs have been one of the most effective manners of addressing the problem of court delay, and PILJA has been in this direction for the last several years. I do believe, however, that there are other skills-based programs that may be adopted and implemented by the Philippine Judicial Academy. Number 3, automation of court processes and incorporation of court technology in hearings and trials. This will apply to both the adjudicative and the administrative processes of the court and will entail the use of court technology during trial, especially for electronic evidence and testimonies through video conferencing. This will likewise necessarily necessitate the strengthening of the management information systems offices of the courts. Number 4, continuation of weeding out of misfits from the judiciary and adoption of a system where the court may initiate on its own the investigation of cases being handled by members of the judiciary, even in the absence of complaints. In order to do this, I plan to impose timelines in resolving administrative complaints, including complaints initiated by the court, and timelines for the court to resolve these complaints. Number 5, strengthen the office of the court administrator and implement the Judicial Integrity Board as soon as possible. This is meant to automate the processes of the OCA, to monitor and effectively address the concerns of the lower courts as regards infrastructure, communication, equipment, and supply issues, to address the lack of court personnel and the inequitable distribution in cases in the lower courts, to create an audit office dedicated to the conduct of judicial audits, and to appoint more judicial supervisors to conduct and oversee the said audits, and to implement the Judicial Integrity Board, and to possibly harmonize its functions with the Office of the Court Administrator. Number 6, strengthening and improving the security of our justices, judges, and halls of justice. We hope that we can devise a system, either through legislation or through the court's initiative, the creation of a security system patterned after the U.S. Marshals. Number 7, set up a 24/7 help desk in the Office of the Chief Justice and other offices to receive the concern of court users. Number 8, monitoring of performance in all courts, especially for the observance of the rules on hearing dates, including observance of reglementary and prescribed periods to resolve pending incident. This is to attain an objective evaluation of work performance of our court employees and officials for purposes of promotion and the conferring of Judicial Excellence Awards. Number 9, improvement of procurement and bidding processes for faster and more timely implementation of projects. This will involve the establishment of a dedicated procurement and bidding support office and the adoption of best practices of other government agencies. This is in light of the fact that at present, our ad hoc committees are unable to effectively cope with the procurement demands of the courts. In this connection, prudence shall be exercised in the disbursement of funds and shall be in accordance with existing auditing rules and in accordance with the Government Appropriation Act, and shall be based on urgency and immediate need. Number 10, creation of a strategic planning management unit under the PMO. This is for the organized planning, implementation, monitoring, and evaluation of court projects geared toward court-specified goals that are aligned with the country's national development plan. This will ensure continuity of court programs and projects in the event of changes in management and leadership. I shall continue the program started by my predecessor, former Chief Justice Lucas P. Bersamin, particularly on clinical legal education program. I have other numerous plans for the judiciary, especially as regards the strengthening of employees' sense of self-worth, so that each employee in the judiciary will take pride in saying that she is a public servant in the judiciary. Rest assured that the welfare of the employees shall always be considered. But the good news will come later. My 10-point program is just the beginning and it's not exclusive. There is still much to be done and accomplished as regards other aspects of case adjudication and court administration. As with these plans and goals that are meant to uplift the judicial system and to improve public service, I need your full support and cooperation. I cannot carry out the plans and achieve the goals by myself, but as I stressed earlier, I shall lead by example. At this point, I deem it opportune for me to express my profound gratitude to our President, Mr. President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, for entrusting the leadership of the judiciary to me. Then I reiterate our motto in the judiciary, which must guide us in the performance of our work and duties. Let us be united and let us follow the rules. Magandang umaga at maraming salamat po sa inyong oras at suporta. Thank you.
Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chief Justice Diosdado Magarang Peralta. Mind you, he is very generous. Okay, that ends the program. Maraming salamat po sa inyong pagdalo. Sandali daw.
And that was Chief Justice Diosdado Peralta delivering his first speech as the Chief Magistrate.
Okay, thank you. You just wait.
All right, clearly very warmly welcomed there by employees of the Supreme Court. Peralta is the 26th Chief Justice of the Philippines. In his speech, he said, everyone should be guided by the line, let us be united, let us follow the rules. The Chief Justice also outlined his 10-point program, which he said was not exclusive. He said aside from his 10-point program, there is still much to be done, and he would require the full support of everyone in the judiciary to uplift the judiciary. He expressed his gratitude as well to President Rodrigo Duterte, who appointed him. Now, let's go back to the briefing in Camp Crame by PNP OIC Archie Gamboa.
The next PNP chief, meron na po bang signal from Palace about the next PNP chief? Wala pa ring announcement. Meron po bang sinabi kung kailan i-announce? Because I understand the PNP needs a PNP chief to function fully.
Sabi ko, di ba, I will talk only once and this is the end of it.
What do you mean, sir?
No comment.
Okay.
Please, tulungan nyo naman ako, no? Tulungan nyo ako not to discuss anything about me being a candidate. Please, in fairness also to the other candidates. Kasi, you know, people might see it as I'm taking advantage of my being an OIC. So, please, nakikiusap ako na no more questions about candidacy, about incoming chief. Let's wait for the president, no? Huwag nating madaliin si president. Ang daming problema ng presidente, no? And of course, yung pagpangalan ng Chief PNP, ibigay na lang natin sa kanya. And let's just wait, no? Let's just wait. Anyway, nandito naman ako, no? Nandito ako as OIC to take care of the organization. And don't you think, ibalik ko sa inyo, am I doing well as an OIC or not? Di ba? So, let me mind my business as officer in charge and then pabayaan natin. We respect the president for that decision.
But sir, hindi naman to the point na nakakalumpo. As in, you still function fully as a police organization even without a full appointed PNP chief.
Yeah, ibalik ko sa inyo ang question eh. How am I doing as an officer in charge? Diba?
Okay.
Sir, ihabol ko lang, pandagdag lang doon sa question doon kay Mayor Navarro. Yung family niya kanina, yung family niya has expressed doubts doon sa nangyari kasi marami siyang pulis na kasama and yet ganun na nangyari. Tapos yung nagdududa sila doon sa isang pulis na tinamaan daw, sa paa lang daw tinamaan. So yun yung
Part
mga
of the
doubts.
investigation. I do not want to preempt the results of the investigation of the regional director of PRO7.
Yes, sir. Good morning po. Sir, doon pa rin po kay Clarine Mayor po, Navarro. May lumabas po kasi, sir, na report attributed sa NCRPO na si Mayor Navarro po is allegedly the same as si Dante Navarro na alleged Alferez robbery group leader ng Ozabi City. Attributed po sa NCRPO yung report. Sir, can you confirm, sir? Do you have details on it, sir?
I will not confirm because I still have to find out the basis of that report. And probably we will direct Region 7 to include that, no? To include that in their SITG. Halongkatin na nila lahat kung anong nalalaman nila. Thank you for the information.
Sir, ano pong reaksyon nyo dun sa approach na ginagawa ni NCRPO Chief Sinas na ang term po nila ay anti-media raw po?
Alam nyo, kanya-kanyang style ang mga iba't ibang leader ng PNP. Let's give him a chance, no? But I will remind him, no? I will remind him kung ano man ang pwede kong i-remind sa kanya. Pero let's not jump to conclusion. Remember, si General Sinas did well in Cebu, no? Probably kunting adjustment, no? Because this is the National Capital Region. But I do respect kung ano mga decision ni General Sinas. Kasi he's responsible on what he is doing. Whether it will fail, whether it succeeds, it is his decision. So I would respect that. Anyway, kasama naman siya sa 3 months eh. Kasama naman lahat, no? Kasama naman lahat doon sa after 3 months, then we will evaluate. Or sooner than 3 months kung nakita natin na some of the commanders are not doing well or not doing their job.
Good morning, sir.
Good
Sir,
morning.
linawin ko lang po yung kay General Sinas. You said you will remind him to do what specifically, sir?
Hindi, yun ang sinabi nyo eh, anti-media. So sabihin ko sa kanya, di bold. Ang sinasabi nila, anti-media ka daw. And then, probably from there, he can take off. Kayo nagsabi nun ha, na anti-media. Hindi, gusto ko lang i-clarify, no? Actually, may nag-text sa akin na, sir, dinisolve ni General Sinas. So I called him up. Sabi ko, what is this devolved? Sabi niya, sir, hindi ko naman sila dinisolve. Sinabi ko lang na yung opisinang ginagamit nila, gagamitin namin for UNDAS and SEA Games. Sabi ko, okay. Yun ang decision niya. At sabi naman niya, hahanapan niya ng lugar ata sa Quezon City or sa somewhere in NCRPO also for them. So ganun lang kasimple yun. Hindi naman categorically sinabi niya na hindi niya dinisolve ang NCRPO press corps. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Salamat.
All right, and that was the acting PNP Chief Lieutenant General Archie Gamboa at a press briefing. Reporters there pressing the acting PNP chief as to when the new PNP chief will officially be announced. He basically said no comments, no more questions regarding this, regarding him as being a candidate for the new PNP chief. And he also said not to rush the president. We'll be taking a short break here on CNN Philippines. We'll be right back.